Good morning, students. Welcome to class 3 of Applied Component, Unit 1, Chapter 1, General Introduction to Drugs. I am Benazir Sheikh, Department of Chemistry from NB Mehta Science College, Bordi. Students, in our previous lecture, we have discussed about the term drug. We have also seen the difference between drug and medicine. We have also discussed about the sources of drugs and the requirements of an ideal drug. So in today's lecture, we are going to focus on classification of drugs based on therapeutic action. So let's get started. Students, drugs can be categorized in a number of ways. In general, they are classified on the basis of chemical structure and on the basis of therapeutic action. Students, classification of drugs on the basis of chemical structure was extensively used some years ago, and it is still used by some authors. Following the classification, drugs may come in one or more of these categories, such as acetyls, acids, alcohols, esters, hydrocarbons, nitro compounds, phenol, quinone, sulfonamides, urea, etc. We can say that this is a common classification, that is, this method includes common classification of drugs. Generally, drugs that have the same drug action and pharmacological effect have a basic skeletal structure and a minute variation in the branching. For example, all sulfonamides have the same skeletal structure. So we can say that description of the chemistry of different types of drugs becomes difficult in this method. So later on, a method was put forward, that is, drugs were classified on the basis of therapeutic action. So we can say a systematic classification system was designed that was called as classification of drugs based on therapeutic action. So we know that the effect of any drug on any medical problem is known as therapeutic effect of a drug. For example, for any kind of medical problem, you have that specific drug. For say example, like analgesic, okay? So generally these are the medicines that relieve pain, like painkillers, okay? They bring relief to the pain. For example, headache, backaches, muscle sprain, etc. For example, paracetamol, okay? Which is generally used in case of fever or pain. Aspirin, okay? Ibuprofen, salicylates. So generally these are also used to treat cancer pain after surgery. Then next example could be antacids, antibiotics, antipyretic drugs, and so on. So let us start the classification of drugs based on therapeutic action. So according to their therapeutic action, the drugs are classified into following 4 broad types. First is functional or pharmacodynamic agents. Second, chemotherapeutic agents. Third, vitamins. And fourth, hormones. So remember students, in general, there are 2 important methods of classification of drugs. That is, on the basis of chemical structure and on the basis of therapeutic action. One is a common method and the other is a systematic method. Specific drug for a specific problem. So, functional or pharmacodynamic agents. These are the drugs which act on various physiological functions of the body. Or say, these are the drugs which are used or given when any kind of non-infectious diseases occurs. Students, let us see the definition of pharmacodynamic agents. The pharmacodynamic agents are the drugs. They are used to correct the disorders in the physiological functions and restore them to normal conditions. They bring relief from the symptoms of discomfort by either stimulating or depressing the physiological functions which are abnormal. They are used to restore the functions such as blood pressure, blood sugar, body temperature, electrolytes, etc. And we can also say that this category of drugs includes such drugs which are used in the treatment of allergic diseases. Right? These may be further classified as follows. Students, it includes total 9 different types of categories. That is, functional or pharmacodynamic agents are been subdivided into 9 categories. First is non-selective CNS depressant, which includes hypnotic and sedative. Hypnotic, a drug which produces sleep resembling natural sleep. And sedative, a drug which produces mild depression and calms anxiety without causing drowsiness. Second is selective modifiers of central nervous system, which includes tranquilizers. Tranquilizers, it means calmness. That is, these are the drugs which produces a specific improvement in mood and behavior of a patient suffering from mental disorder. They are classified as neurologically active drugs. They bring relief from anxiety, stress, and irritability. They are consumed as sleeping pills. And they are also used to treat mild to severe mental illness. Clear? Next is CNS stimulants. It includes antidepressant. Antidepressant, that is the drugs which are used to reduce depression, tiredness, and increases alertness, competitiveness. We can say that these are the drugs that accelerate the activity of central nervous system. They make us feel more energetic, alert, as well as focused. It also belongs to the class of neurologically active drug. For example, caffeine. It's a pharmacologically active substance that is found in tea, coffee, and cola, which increases the activity of various parts of central nervous system. Fourth is adrenergic stimulating and blocking agents, generally used in allergic conditions. Fifth is histamine and antihistaminic agents. Students, antihistamines are drugs that block the action of histamine, that is a compound released in allergic inflammatory reaction at H1 receptor site. So we can say these are responsible for immediate hypersensitivity reactions such as sneezing and itching. So drugs which are used to cure allergic conditions. Sixth is local anesthetics. Students, you might have heard the term anesthesia, right? This is the state of insensibility. General anesthetics are depressant drugs that produce partial or total loss of sense of pain, which may be accompanied by loss of consciousness. So anesthesia may be defined as the absolute loss of sensation or absence of pain sensation during surgeries. Seventh is cardiovascular agents. So generally, medicinal preparation used in the treatment of heart failure, and disorder of vascular tension. Eighth is hematological agents. Branch of medicinal or medical science concerned with diseases of the blood and blood forming tissues. And ninth is diuretic, substances that increases the rate of excretion of urine by kidneys. Second classification is chemotherapeutic agents. Students, chemotherapy, it is a drug treatment that is powerful chemicals to kill fast growing cells in the patient's body. It is most often used to treat cancer. Since cancer cells grow and multiply much more quickly than most cells in the body. So we can say these are the drugs are used in the treatment of infectious diseases. Clear? So, the treatment of infectious diseases by using a chemical agent is called chemotherapy, and the substance employed is referred to as chemotherapeutic agent. The chemotherapeutic agents act in such a way that they kill or destroy the disease producing organism without any harmful effect on the cells in which the organisms are present. Chemotherapeutic agents are further divided into following 13 types based on the causative organisms which they destroy or the diseases which they cure. First is organometallic compound. Second is enthelmintic, the drugs used to kill or eliminate the parasitic worms from the body. Third is antiprotozoal, that is the drug which prevents diseases caused by protozoa. Fourth is antimalarial, that is the drugs which are used to treat malaria. Fifth is antifungal. Again, these are the drugs which are used to treat fungal infections. Sixth is antiviral, the drugs which are used to treat viral infections. Seventh is antiseptics, that is these are the drugs which are used to destroy bacteria. Students, we know that antiseptics are chemicals used to kill the microorganisms on living tissues. They are applied on skin with a cut or wound. Example, soframycin. Second example is Dettol, which is a commonly used antiseptic. Eighth is antibacterial. These are sulfa drugs, the agents that either kills or inhibits the growth of microorganisms. Consider the example of sulfonamide. In this antibacterial, which are used as antibiotics. Students, antibiotics targets the bacterial infection. They kill or inhibit the growth of bacteria. Generally, they are ineffective towards viruses. There are two types of antibiotics, narrow spectrum and broad spectrum. Narrow spectrum, which includes penicillin and metronidazole, and broad spectrum generally includes amoxicillin and tetracycline. 10th is anti-tubercular drugs. 11th is anti-leprosy drugs. 12th is anti-neoplastic drugs. And 13th is antibiotics. Next classification includes vitamins. These are complex organic compounds which are required in small quantities. They do not serve as a source of energy, but instead participate in various essential chemical processes in the body. The term vitamin first became popular in the year 1800 as a contraction to the words vital and amines or minerals. Vitamins can be divided into three types. water-soluble vitamin, fat-soluble vitamin, and insoluble in both water and fat. Water-soluble vitamins includes vitamin C and vitamins of group B, that is from B1 to B12. Fat-soluble vitamins includes vitamin A, D, E and K. And insoluble in both water and fat includes vitamin H or biotin. So students, we can define vitamins as organic compounds which are required by organisms in small quantities for normal health and growth, but most of them are not synthesized by organism. And the last, that is fourth classification, is hormones. Students, these are chemical substances that act like messenger molecules in the body. After being made in one part of the body, they travel to the other parts of the body, where they help control how cells and organs do their work. The deficiency of a hormone leads to a particular disease, which can be cured by the administration of that hormone. For example, pancreas. Insulin is a hormone that's made by the beta cells in the pancreas. When it's released into the blood, it helps regulate how the cells of the body use glucose for energy. So students, remember, these are essential for every activity of life, including the process of digestion, metabolism, growth and reproduction. So students, they are further classified as thyroid hormone and antithyroid drugs, pituitary hormone and hypothalamic hormone, pancreatic hormone and hypoglycemic agents, sex hormones and adrenal cortex hormones. So students, in today's lecture, we have discussed about the classification of drugs based on chemical structure, which is one of the common method, and the classification of drugs based on therapeutic action. That is a systematic method of naming particular drug, specific drug for specific problem. So, in our next lecture, we shall be focusing on nomenclature of drugs along with few medicinal terms or few definitions. Till then, take care.